You don't lose when you stay silent. You lose when you respond the wrong way. If you explain yourself too much, you lose. Not metaphorically. That's a rule. Every time you respond to provocation, you pay in attention, and attention is the most expensive currency a person has. And that's the first shock you need to hear. You might think you're protecting your dignity, but in reality, you're handing your opponent the remote control to your mood. And here's the question that should pull you in from the first 30 seconds. Why do some people unravel more when you ignore them than when you insult them? And here's the contradiction that's hard to swallow. Sometimes the strongest reaction is no reaction at all. Yes, no reaction is the highest form of control. Picture the scene. Your phone lights up. A short message, but poisoned. Who do you think you are? Your body tightens. Your heartbeat rises. Your mind races to write a reply before your fingers even touch the keyboard. And right there, you're not thinking, you're defending. Because the ego translates an insult as a threat to identity. So you find yourself facing 3 dangerous urges: respond, justify, explain, like you're in a courtroom and have to prove you're innocent. But here's the harshest truth. The person who forces you to explain yourself already has the upper hand, because explaining is an implicit admission that there was a crime to begin with. Machiavelli wrote for royal courts, but this game is still alive at work, in hangouts, in group chats, in relationships, on social media. Only now, instead of swords, you've got a look, a hint, a comment, and an innocent question designed to size you up. These are power dynamics, and anyone who doesn't understand them gets pulled into them without even noticing. And before we go deeper, a quick ethical agreement. What I'm saying is not for manipulating a decent person or breaking the heart of someone genuine. This is defense. This is protection. This is about becoming untouchable in the face of provocation and social blackmail. If your goal is to hurt people, then you're using power the wrong way, and you'll pay for that in your own way. Right now, write this in the comments. I control my reaction. Not for engagement, but because it's a vow. And stay with me till the end, because every minute opens a deeper layer and makes you see a pattern you didn't see before. And once you see it, you won't be able to unsee it. Number 1. Your attention is gold, and anyone who takes your attention without giving anything in return is stealing from you.
Hear this. Attention isn't just focus. Attention is status. Whatever you give your attention to, you give value to. And this is the first place people fool you. You think responding is dignity, when in reality, it's a transfer of value. Here's one question that can separate you from 90% of the drama in your life. Why should I pay? And what do I gain? If someone comes at you just to provoke you, the return is usually 0, and the response is a guaranteed loss. Work example. A coworker says in front of people, he likes to act like he's perfect. The weak version, no, honestly, I did this and that, and suddenly you're giving a defense. The strong version, and this is your first tool, fogging. You calmly say, I can see how it might look that way. Then you stop, period. You didn't deny it and you didn't confirm it. You just pulled the fuel away. He wanted you in a courtroom. You refused. Social media example. A comment says, this is nonsense. The weak version, a full essay reply, sources, defense, justification. And now you've given them a clip they can live off for a week. The strong version, nothing, or one cold word. Okay, that's it. Because you understood that the goal isn't truth. The goal is validation, proof that they got to you. And this is where it gets more dangerous. A message from someone from your past says, looks like you forgot me. That's not a love message, that's a guilt hook. The weak version, no, of course I didn't forget you, it's just, and now you've opened the door to emotional blackmail. The strong version, strategic indifference, a short neutral response. I wish you well, then stop. You don't have to explain. You don't have to justify. You don't have to prove you're a good person to everybody. Because that's the biggest trap of all, tying your self-worth to people's approval. Pattern interrupt. There are people who may never take money from you, but they'll take your peace of mind. They'll steal from you in the form of a discussion, in the form of clarification, in the form of, "I'm just joking." And to make this practical, use the 10-second rule. With any provocation, close the screen for 10 seconds, take a breath, and ask, is this response coming from strength or from fear? If it's coming from fear, don't respond. Then there's an even stronger rule, the 24-hour rule. Any provocative message, don't answer right away. Delay here isn't weakness. Delay here is a declaration that you own yourself. Write this in the comments. My attention is gold.
Number 2, silence is not emptiness. Silence is pressure. People fear silence because it exposes them. Words cover things up. Silence strips them bare. Here's the harsh truth. When you respond quickly, you're saying, "You touched me." When you respond too much, you're giving away information. When you stay silent, you force them to face themselves. Picture a hangout. There's always that one guy who likes to do a dominance display disguised as a joke. "What's up, man? Still playing the intellectual?" The weak version, "No, man," followed by justification or an irritated reply, or even more joking just to hide the fact that it bothered you. The strong version, silence as dominance. You stay quiet for 2 seconds. You look at him calmly. Then you continue your conversation with someone else as if the comment never happened. Those 2 seconds create a small earthquake because you just took the stage away from him. But silence has 2 forms, defeated silence and controlled silence. Defeated silence has fear in the eyes and tension in the body. Controlled silence has calm in it, as if you're saying, "I see you, but I'm not participating." And this is where another tool comes in, frame control. Because most likely he'll throw this at you next. "What happened, man? Cat got your tongue?" The weak version, "No, not at all, I just..." More justification. The strong version, "I speak when there's something worth saying," or "I'm not here to compete in talking," or even just, "All right, then close it." Pattern interrupt. Every extra word in moments of tension lowers your presence, because too much talking is usually fear disguised as logic. And now, a work scene. Your manager asks you in an accusing tone, "Are you sure you understand what you're doing?" All eyes are on you, and your heart feels like it wants to outrun your body. The weak version, fast justification and too many details, which makes you look shaky. The strong version, pause, 2 seconds of silence, then question reversal. Which part exactly concerns you, the results or the process? Suddenly, the frame flips. Instead of being the accused, you're managing the conversation. Then you give a short, strong answer. That's not a verbal trick, that's sovereignty. Write this in the comments. Silence is power. Number 3, strategic withdrawal, not disappearance. A lot of people here don't respond and think the solution is to cut everyone off and become a mystery. That's not power, that's isolation. Power is being present on your terms. Your presence is a choice, not a summons. That's called strategic withdrawal. A simple example, a friend calls whenever he's bored, and you are the solid one who always answers. After a while, you become customer service. The weak version, "Sure, bro, no matter what." The strong version, "I'm free tomorrow at 7. If it's important, we can talk then." That doesn't make you harsh. It means you're controlling access to yourself. Family example. A relative uses guilt and says, "You never check in." The weak version, justification and a whole argument. The strong version, frame control. "I love you all, but I'm not getting into an interrogation. I'll visit on this day." End of story. In relationships, this exposes manipulators fast. Someone says, "You've changed." The weak version, "No, honestly," followed by justification. The strong version, question reversal. "Changed how? Because I started setting boundaries?" If they're a decent person, they'll understand. If they're manipulative, they'll start accusing you of being selfish, pressuring you, threatening you. And that's where you win, because you saw the truth early. Pattern interrupt. People don't respect constant sacrifice nearly as much as they respect boundaries, because boundaries say, "I have value." Write this in the comments. I choose my presence. Number 5, ignoring unravels their mind, because the brain needs closure. Human beings hate information gaps. When you don't respond, the other person's mind starts working overtime. Did he see it? Did he do it on purpose? Does he not care? Am I invisible?
Those questions eat away at them from the inside, and that creates obsession, especially in people who are used to controlling others through their reactions. But here, you need to set an ethical rule. Ignoring is not a torture tool. Here, ignoring is defense against provocation, against drama, against emotional blackmail. If a decent person is asking for clarity, then ignoring becomes avoidance. The whole difference is in the intention and the method. Scene, a long message full of accusations. You're not a real friend. You're not solid. That's bait. The weak version, an even longer reply full of defense and details. The strong version, strategic indifference, either total silence or one reply, received, then stop. If the issue is real, it will turn into a respectful conversation. If it's bait, they'll expose themselves. Another scene, someone insults you, then says, "I'm just joking." That's disguised dominance. The weak version, you step into a war of justification. The strong version, okay, then continue with your life. You took the stage away. Pattern interrupt. Even if you win an argument, you still lost if you walked away drained, because they were feeding themselves off your energy. And here's the mid-video rehook. The real trap isn't the people provoking you. The real trap is the part inside you that loves the fight because it makes you feel important. If you're arguing just to prove you exist, you're still being dragged. If that hit you, stay till the end, because what's coming is liberation, not just advice. Write this in the comments. I filter my life. Number 5, erase the unworthy, an enemy, a critic, and an energy vampire. The open enemy, your biggest mistake is giving them value. When you respond to them and keep talking about them, you're giving them publicity. The tactic, step out of the arena. Let them talk while you build.
The critic, usually it's resentment, bitterness. Their goal is a reaction, not truth. This is where agree and amplify comes in. You really think you're a genius. The weak version, no, not at all. The strong version, oh, absolutely, officially a genius, and tomorrow I'm opening a university in my name. Then you laugh and change the subject, because you turned the attack into a skit while they wanted a courtroom, and ask them a question that exposes them. Okay, what's your suggestion? Most of the time, they back off because they don't want to build anything. The energy vampire, the most dangerous of all, because they show up disguised as a friend. Every day, it's a new crisis, and every time they buy you with neediness. If you respond a little late, they say you're selfish. The weak version, you rush to protect your image as the dependable one. The strong version, boundaries plus a condition. I'm here if you want a solution. Send me 3 steps you're going to take. If they disappear, they wanted attention. If they get angry, they wanted control. Pattern interrupt. Anyone who gets upset by your boundaries was benefiting from the fact that you didn't have any. Write this in the comments. My boundaries are not guilt. Number 6, the armor of indifference. Not coldness, sovereignty. Stoicism says, control your judgment and your reaction. That means don't let people's opinions become what drives you. You are not responsible for their tongues. You are responsible for your nervous system. Ask yourself, what's your button? I have to prove myself. I have to make them understand. I have to get what's mine immediately. The moment you notice the button, you've already stepped out of the trap. Name the feeling. That's ego defense. That's fear of rejection. Then calm down. And here comes Carl Jung. Jung's shadow. The repressed part inside you comes out as anger toward other people. If you hate arrogant people, ask yourself, is there a part of you that wants to be powerful and can't? If you hate lazy people, ask yourself, is there a fear of failure inside you? Understanding the shadow helps you stop handing people your keys. A practical tactic? Fogging plus frame control. Maybe I do come across that way, but I'm committed to my boundaries. That's it. Pattern interrupt? Anyone who can make you angry can lead you. Write this in the comments. I control my emotions. Number 7, rising through calculated non-action.
A rumor? Don't respond. Work. A competitor copies you? Don't respond. Innovate. Emotional blackmail? Don't respond emotionally. Respond with a standard. Do what you want. That's called elevation. Example of a social interrogation: how much do you make? That question is a dominance display. The weak version, details and justification. The strong version, question reversal. Why is that important? Or, I don't like discussing those details. No explanation. That's the kind of non-justification that protects you. And in the end, these 7 laws are not so people will fear you. They're so you can be free. A free person is someone who can live the motto, never react, never explain, just ignore, and stay steady while doing it. And you'll move through 5 phases: curiosity and discomfort, then seeing the game, then the tension of awareness, then realizing power, then a philosophical awakening. In that awakening, you'll understand that the greatest form of dominance is self-dominance. So now, if you made it this far, write this in the comments: I am not manipulable. Make it your identity. And if you want deeper content on dark psychology, social intelligence, power dynamics, Stoicism, and the philosophy of Machiavelli and Robert Greene, subscribe to the channel. Because from this moment on, you won't just ignore, you'll be untouchable.